Hi. Welcome back, folks. My name's Julia, for those of you who don't know me, also known as Julicious here on the internet. It is Saturday morning. It is almost 1 o'clock on Saturday morning, April the 30th, 2022. And Black Lives Still Matter. You should still work to protect the trans people in your life. There are trans people in your life, whether you know it or not. And the seasons are changing. Everywhere in the world, seasons are changing. It's getting warmer here in Philadelphia. It's getting cooler down in New Zealand. I hope you're well, and welcome if you have not been here before. And if you're a returning friend coming to hang out, thanks so much for coming back. I appreciate you. And I've been putting in a concerted effort to respond to comments lately. I think I still have a few to respond to from my last video. I need to get on that after I upload this. So today's a very good day. The reason it is a very good day is because this is the last time I'm going to be coming to you from an ungodly hour of the morning in my cramped office with a bright light shining right in my eyeballs in an effort to look okay, because this coming Tuesday, May the 3rd, is my last night shift ever. Yeah, getting off night shift. Finally. I had to actually resign from my current position after I had already accepted a position elsewhere, because that's just what I had to do. I'm going to be staying on at the old facility in their float pool for nurses, just because I don't like leaving folks hanging. And also there are skills that I use there more than I will be using at my new place. I'll be learning new skills there, but I just want to kind of keep a lot of the acute bedside stuff fresh. Long-term planning. Anyway, that's a good thing. I am more excited about it than I look. It's just getting there. What to talk about? I was just watching Jemima, the rocking stitcher, trying to psych myself up to do all of this, and she was saying that she had just spent like an hour psyching herself up to do this. Not that it's, if I didn't get anything out of this, like if I didn't enjoy it and if I didn't enjoy interaction, I wouldn't do it. Let's be clear on that. But sometimes it's a little bit of a chore, especially in my case. I don't want to speak for Jemima. I often feel like with FlossTube, I'm absolutely flying by the seat of my pants the entire time, and that gets tiring. That's a me problem. I need to switch something up, obviously, but that's neither here nor there right now. What are we going to talk about today? I actually wrote some things down. Gave you my life update. Let's talk about whips. So for WhipGo, and I didn't even bother writing down the WhipGo numbers. If you're paying attention to WhipGo, you know what the numbers were. Last month's number, rather still this month's numbers, April's numbers, the projects that corresponded to the WIPGO numbers for me were Mirabilia's Halloween Fairy, which comes as a kit. And where is it? The Blue Flowers Huckleberry Farm. And immediately at the beginning of the month, something, I had a realization, I had a revelation. The revelation I had when I put Huckleberry Farm on my Lowry stand and I sat down and I looked at it and I looked over the chart. The realization that I had is that this is a fine chart. It's a fine sampler. I love her use of colors that she used in the border. I love the idea. I don't love it enough to stitch it. Like that's hard, you know? Because you invest in it. And honestly, I think when this came out at market, it took a lot of people by storm. And I'm not normally someone who gets swept up in things, but I'm not immune. I'm not immune to it. And it is beautiful. I mean, look at it, right? And when stitchers take charts like this and totally run with them, like I'm thinking specifically about Stephanie at Lindy Stitches, who made it a family sampler, and she personalized it. Instead of the alphabet, she stitched her children's names. And she stitched it on a fabric that like I wouldn't have thought to stitch it on. She stitched, I think, was Picture This Plus Haunted, and it looks beautiful. And I was like, oh yeah. But a couple of things. Number one, Steph has 3 kids. I have 1. Steph is a cross-stitch designer and is really creative. I'm neither of those things. And honestly, if we're being brutally honest, all love and respect to Janine McGowan of the Blue Flower. The one for me, one for the basket verse just doesn't do it for me. I generally, if I want to stitch words, generally they have to, I don't want to stitch something that's, I hesitate, I don't want to say trite or cutesy, because I feel like that's disrespectful and that's not what I'm trying to do. If I'm going to take the time to stitch words, stitching letters and alphabets is not my favorite thing. There's some irony there. Wait for it. I want more meaning for me, like something personal to me. This is not it. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna. I wasn't that far along. I'm just not gonna. I will be passing this along, not yet, because there are parts of this that I think I would stitch. Like, I love this bear and the bee skep right there. I love it. And that alphabet below the butterfly with a little snoozing bear just pulling the border down. I love that. That is like one of my favorite things about this sampler. I could see stitching that on like a really low count fabric to make it a little bigger and you know, and do like a little cushion. Will I? I don't know, but I'm keeping it around just in case I decide I want to do that. I think the little bear and a bee skep, I would happily make a little ornament out of that to send to a friend. So anyway, that's where we are. This is getting retired. I don't do that often, so for me it feels like a big deal. Might not be such a big deal for you. Halloween Fairy, I feel like I made a pretty decent amount of progress on. Let me look at this. Or here, let's look at this. Also known as the Emily Fairy, as I associate this with our dear Emily C. Go buy ducks. That's more a reminder to me than to you, although if you haven't bought ducks yet and you intend to buy ducks, please do. I want to buy ducks and keep forgetting because I work 12-hour night shifts and don't start drinking water until like 5 o'clock at night and am a complete mess. So yeah, Julia, future Julia, buy ducks. I finished the skin on her arm, well, one of her arms. I finished her dress, started working on her wings. I feel pretty good about this. I think conceivably, if I get really ambitious and just want to focus, if I focused on her for like 2 weeks straight of just solid stitching, like monogamously, I could finish her the next, if I did that. So she looks really good on this fabric. This is 32 count Murky from Picture This Plus, guys. 2/2, not my favorite. I just like the way my stitches look more when I stitch with one strand, but you do you. And stitching her skin 1/1 because for some reason I thought that was a good idea. This is really only my second Mirabilia. My first Mirabilia is Autumn in My Garden, and I stitched that piece of skin 1/1 because the only piece of skin it's a woman raking leaves in her garden in the autumn, and it's just her face. If I had decided to do something like stitch Roses of Provence or one of the mermaids 1/1, I think I probably would have gotten that out of my system a whole lot quicker. Anyway, it looks so good though. It looks so good, in my opinion. So, what did I work on since I wasn't working on Huckleberry Farm, you may ask? Well, we still have the Bird Crush Club. I made some decent progress on the Bird Crush Club, actually. I managed to, so the April bird is around here somewhere. It's a warbler, black-throated, here it is. The black-throated gray warbler. And I'm stitching these on 40 count, all on one piece of fabric. This is Lamb's Wool by XJU Designs. And here's my current progress. So number 1, the Seller's J is done. I finished the broad-billed hummingbird. I opted to not change the floss color of the flowers because I decided, number 1, you can kind of see them. It's not like they're washed out that much, especially with the green stems, the big flowers, and the little stameny bits that are bright orange. This little guy makes me really happy. He was super fun. Still working on the the black-bellied whistling ducks. I still have some frogging to do that I just don't want to do. I have to do it. I don't want to do it. My partner Josh offered to do it for me because he is wonderful, and I may actually take him up on that. And I have just a little bit of start on the newest one. I got her little face in. And she looks very sweet. So I've been working on this. I don't think I'm gonna finish it like by December 31st of this year, but pretty close, I think. There may be a mad push at the end, but we'll see. And I decided to start something new, because why not? I wanted to. And I had stuff in stash, and it's a free pattern, and I'd been wanting to stitch it for a while, and why not? I started stitching this about a week ago, actually, and I've had like 3 solid nights of stitching on it. This is First Offerings by Blackbird Designs. I actually finally started my first ever actual bona fide Blackbird design. First Offerings. I first saw this. Abby Bella stitched this on some neutral gingham, and it looks beautiful. She did that a couple of years ago, I think. I don't know. Friends that I don't get to hang out with very often, like Abby and Ann P. of Fiber Floss and Fiction. I've been at 2 o'clock in the morning just like binge watching their old stuff. And it feels like I'm hanging out with them because I'm that way. Anyway, who else? Diana It Is Kismet Stitches recently finished this on a 32 count linen with a Valdani floss, which she does not recommend. I have never stitched with Valdani. I have never, ever, in the history of me being on FlossTube, watching FlossTube, I have never heard anyone say a positive thing about Valdani floss. I kind of still want to try it just so I can have my own opinion, but I mean, that says something, you know. Anyway, I'm stitching this on a piece of 40 count Weeks Dye Works linen, reaching over here, parchment. This is special because I purchased this. I've only been to a brick and mortar LNS once in my life, and this was at, I think, the 2019 Stitch Fest that Stephanie Oh So Crafty hosts in Northern Virginia. And we went to In Stitches Needlework. And I didn't buy very much. I think I bought this and some floss. Just, I was on a bit of a budget, and that was a lovely experience. Unfortunately, I was having a really bad mental health weekend that weekend and didn't realize it until lunchtime Saturday. And so I didn't actually spend a whole lot of time socializing. But that's okay. I got to meet Ingeborg and give her a hug and talk to her a lot. And I got to meet, who did I get to meet? Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff, who I kind of snuck in and was looking at something. When we first got there, and behind me, I hear Jessie say, "Did you really think you could sneak in here without a hug? Did you really think that?" So, and I met Arlene Cohen, who is lovely. I didn't talk to her very much, which I am sad about. She seems like a sweetheart. Who else? If we met at Stitch Fest in 2019 and I don't remember you, Modern X Stitcher. You came up to me and my daughter in the dining room on Sunday morning, and you were so kind. And I think about that every time I see you comment somewhere. You need to know that. I needed that morning, and I don't think you had any idea. Do you want to see the cross stitching? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, 40 count Weeks Dye Works parchment. I don't love the fabric, but I'm stitching this on this little 6-inch Q-snap, and it's holding it pretty taut for me, so I'm happy. And I am stitching this 1/2 with Classic Colorworks Blackwork. This is dark brown. Not Blackwork, Blackbird. It's dark brown. I think it looks perfectly fine. It just reminds me more of DMC 3371 than it does a black. But that's okay because I am enjoying this so much. I can absolutely see myself stitching another single color small band sampler. You know, something from Leela's Studio or from Modern Folk Embroidery. This is a heck of a lot of fun. So that was some happiness in my life this week. What else do I want to show you? Okay, life update, whip update, whip. Okay, what's going on? What's going on with WIPCO for May? The numbers that, hang on, hold please. I worked on the gamer as well. A little bit more done. I related to me hanging out with old FlossTube friends via their old videos. Ann P was talking about how we start these big ass projects and we laugh about it. Yeah, we want to start it because it's really fun. But if you really want to finish something, and she was talking specifically about her stitching shelf. Is it the stitching shelf? The Amy Stewart? Yeah, I think it's a stitching shelf, which was Anne's first love. Her very first full coverage. Loves it every time she works on it. It's massive. It's not going to get done in a year. And she was talking about accepting the fact that a project that you're going to invest that kind of time in, on one hand, yeah, you're going to accept that this is a marathon, not a sprint. In fact, in some cases, it's an ultra marathon, not a marathon. But if you want to get it stitched, you have to stitch on it. Like if you want to finish it, you have to work on it. I want to finish this, so I have to work on it. And I have always sort of jokingly said that I want to have this done by the time my daughter goes to college. That's probably going to be in about 7 years. And this is from my partner, Josh. And even though Josh made me, it's an index card written in Sharpie, a get out of guilt free card to go with this, that he doesn't want me to ever feel guilty for not working on this. I still want to get it done. So I did some quick math. If I put 78 stitches a day on this, probably less than that because of how much I've already gotten done. But if I were just starting this from nothing, it would take me 78 stitches a day to finish this in 7 years by the time my daughter goes to college. That's totally doable. That's absolutely doable. So that's what I'm going to do. And, you know, if the days I don't make it or don't get quite as many in, I'm already ahead of the game. I've got like 5 pages done. So yeah, this is going to be a daily thing, or as much as it can be. And 78 stitches is great because you're not going to get burned out. At least I shouldn't, knock wood. Anyway, so yeah, going to do that. Okay, WIPCO now. The two numbers that were called, I don't remember what they were, But the projects that correspond to them from my whipcode board are the Baba Yaga sampler by the Thread Sewer, which I am stitching 1/1 on 28 count Jobelan, and I am stitching it with DMC 4452, which is a variegated. It's got it's very dark and broody. It's got dark purple and dark teal and browns. This is the starting point. So I don't know what I'm going to get done. I think a tentative goal would be to finish the top half. So why don't we say that? I think that's doable. It might not be, but I'm going to try. I'm also going to roll this because it's getting creases and I don't want them to stay. No thoughts on how I'm going to finish this yet, but. And then the second project that was pulled was my first Haid, which is the Candleman Story Keep. Oh, who's the artist? Chris Gustafson, maybe? I will remember that for next month. I am stitching this 2/1 Continental tent stitch on 25 count Lugana. So one page, partial page, page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. So I don't know if I can get this page finished in the time, but I'm going to do my best. So I feel like my full coverage stitching would be so much easier if I had Pattern Keeper. I don't have a device that supports Pattern Keeper. Until recently, I was a pretty die-hard Apple user. I just recently, within the past 3 months, got rid of my iMac desktop and have a Windows machine now, which is why my posting publicly on like the Facebook group about WhipGo has kind of gone by the wayside, because I originally was using the Mac file for that. I could just do one with markers, but I don't have time. Anyway, wonder if there's Pattern Keeper for desktop, except I don't want to always stitch here in my office, especially with full coverage. I would rather be out in a comfy chair in my living room with my Lowry stand. That's neither here nor there. So that's WhipGo stuff for the coming month, and then other plans. I'm going to keep working on the Gamer. I'm going to keep working on the Bird Crush Club. I have some knitting projects that I want to start. I just need to find the correct needles that give me the gauge that I need and all that stuff. I started putting together trying to organize my thoughts for my month of birthday starts in June. And I encountered a problem. And if you have had this problem, or if you know someone who has, please comment down below. So one of the things I want to start is the Garden Club series by Blackbird Designs. I was going to start with this one, Basket of Cherries, because it's the first one. However, oh, and I also decided that I wanted to kit it up with Floss in My Stash. and probably do a color and cotton conversion because I have a lot of color and cotton floss because I was in their Floss of the Month Club for about 1.5 years. So I have a lot. Problem number 1. That's a bluebird, right? Can we all agree that that is a bluebird? The floss used to outline that bluebird is General Arts Tin Bucket. The floss used to fill in that bird, the lighter blue, is Gentle Arts Aged Pewter. Would you like to know what the DMC equivalent of Gentle Arts Aged Pewter is? $6.46. This isn't blue. Not blue. Blue. Not blue. Blue. Not blue. And I couldn't find any errata. Like, well, I mean, there's errata on the Blackbird Designs website, obviously. There's nothing for this. Dialots haven't, I mean, let's see. So what's the, is there a copyright on this? Well, yeah, there's a, what's the copyright date? That is my question. Here we go. 2015. Guys, dialots don't change that drastically in 7 years. I don't know how you can get gray, blue becoming gray. I am frustrated because I don't really have a good head for color theory. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do just yet. Tentatively, the plan is like, well, Julia, there are 12 designs in this series and you want to stitch all of them, just stitch a different one. So I may end up doing Apple Orchard instead, unless I look at the floss and the green leaves are somehow orange or blue or purple. Not this. It's just, it's weird. It's really weird. To me, well, I have some of these. I have old red paint and I have maple syrup. But anyway, if you have thoughts or experience, is there a resolution to this problem? Maybe some errata for the colors listed on the key that I have not been able to find because my Google foo is not strong? I would greatly appreciate hearing about it. And if not, that's okay. I will figure it out. Worst case scenario, I will message Coffee Stitcher and be like, help me. And he'll tell me to calm down. What else? Oh, I finally, 123 Stitch, it was on sale on 123 Stitch, so I finally actually picked up Away We Ride. I think this might be a June 1st start. Just kick off the month with it. And I think, oh, Sarah, Stitchin' Mommy had asked, I think, when you want to stitch your cat while I'm stitching my Maggie the Messmaker cat, let's just do it on my birthday on the 30th. I think that's a Thursday. Let's just make it easy. If anyone else wants to stitch Maggie the Messmaker or stitch a cat with me on my birthday, let's do that on June the 30th or any time in the month of June. I'm going to be, what am I going to start in June? I'm going to start this. I'm going to start Pumpkins 3 by Lottie Da. I'm going to stitch Skinny Wolf Farm by Barbara Anna. I'm going to start the Garden Club series, Maggie the Messmaker, and probably one other small thing. Perhaps something from the Winds of Autumn, like that little October 31st round small, or something. I'll figure it out. I have plenty of time. What else? Oh, I have a present for you. So I was sorting all of my color and cotton stash. And I realized a couple of things. The first thing I realized is that I do not need to buy floss. I have a lot. The second thing I realized, actually I started to realize this a while ago, and that's why I canceled my subscription to the Floss of the Month Club, is because I was getting duplicates. I have several duplicates, and actually, if you hold them all up, they actually make a really nice palette. Like, these are all from different months. These did not come packaged together, but they actually make a pretty decent rainbow. So I'm gonna have a giveaway for these. If you are curious about color and cotton, or overdyed flosses in general, have always wanted to try, just never gotten around to it. Maybe it's not in your budget, or you already collect, maybe you already collect Victorian Motto, or you're in Trisha 3 All Threads Nest Egg, or any of the things. If you would like this floss, yeah, this rainbow floss, leave a comment with the word rainbow in it. Please be a subscriber. Please be at least 18 years of age or older, because I will need your address. And I will open this internationally. I don't like people to miss out. What do we have here? We have Holly Berry. We have Aztec, Lemongrass, Mistletoe, Sapphire, Old Penny, and Cranberry. Okay. So yeah, and I will try to figure out, yeah, leave a comment with the word rainbow in, and I will choose a winner at the end of May when I do my next video. All right. So yeah, I think that's everything I have for you, folks. We're coming up on 40 minutes here, almost. I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you are staying safe and taking care of yourself and being kind to others. And I mean, I know it's hard. It's been a really tough year for me, mental health wise, and just given, the state of the world is not making it easier. But I'm getting through it, and if I can do it, you can do it. So take good care. Enjoy your craft. Enjoy your fresh air. Who was it was saying that they always get verbal diarrhea when they're trying to end the video? And I was like, that's me. Me too. So I'm just going to say goodbye, friends. I'll catch you around the internet, okay?